Yeah, so welcome back. I'm going to do some Java patterns simply because as QAs, we really don't do a lot of patterns in Java. We're mainly focused on our framework. However, if you are going into the job market, it would be very good to familiarize yourself or refamiliarize yourself with how to print the Java patterns. So the first thing we're going to do is a right angle triangle pattern. I'm thinking for now we're not going to use the scanner method and take a user input. We're going to do that from maybe pattern 11. We have 60 patterns, so let's get started. So this is a normal Java class, nothing special about it. Inside the main method, the thing we're going to do is initialize an integer variable to tell us how many rows we want to print. In this case, we're going to choose 7. Now, we need to print rows and columns. And by now, we all should know that a row runs horizontal and a column runs vertical. So in our example, we have 7 rows as well as 7 columns. So there is no way we could print it all in one for loop. So I'll show you how that is done in Java. So our first for loop takes care of all of the rows. Okay, and when you're given this question on the interview, pay very close attention to where it's starting. So in our case, very simple, it's starting at 1. That's the initialization of our right angle triangle. It starts at 1. Now, where does it end? 7. Okay, so we're going to say less than and equal to num instead of 7, simply because int num could be any number of rows. It could be 8, it could be 2, it could be 1, it could be anything, right? Probably can't be 1. But my point is, this could change and you could see the pattern change as we go on. So this prints the rows. And because this is our first pattern and I really want you to understand it, I'm going to add a print statement here. And in this print statement, we are going to print each one of the iterations. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 ways because this is going to be one of the more detailed videos that we will do. See, we printed this iteration 1 to 7. However, that is, if we want to print the columns, this is not going to work, and I'll show you why. So for now, let's change it to printing that 1. So we want our row to print horizontally, and that's why we're going to take out the LM. Okay, so we have our row printed. Now we need to print our column. And in order to print the column, you need another for loop. Again, columns run vertically, rows run horizontally. So there's no way that we could put one for loop and print both vertically and horizontally. So we have to make a choice. And this is how Java is set up. So now let's get our vertical row. Again, if we look at our example, our vertical row begins at 1 and ends at 7. Very simple, right? So we go. Now we're going to say less than and equal to, and we're not going to say 7. We're going to say for this inner loop, it's going to be less than and equal to I. Whatever the iteration is in our first loop, this is less than and equal to that. Because this is what handles the columns. Okay, great. So now we have our rows, we have our columns. Now let's put back in our print statement. And I'll show you, this video might be a little bit long, but that's because I'm explaining it in detail. Okay, so now we're going to put back our print statement, and this print statement prints our iteration. We also need another print statement, and if you guess it's because we need a space in between the row, you're absolutely correct. This other print statement accounts for the lines. One thing I'm going to do here, though, you don't have to do it. I am going to add a little space after every number, so our right angle triangle is understandable. And let's run this. Okay, now there is our pattern. There is our right angle triangle pattern. Very good. Now, if you run an interview, and they ask you to not print the numbers, but they ask you to print in a star pattern. Very simple. It's the same print statement, not the println, just the print statement. And you're going to add an asterisk and a space in your print statement. Now look at that. It is the same thing that we just printed. All right, very good. Now I want to show you why this statement should be a print and not a println. If it is a println, this is what you get. Okay, pay very close attention. If you put a println, this is what you get. You get a pattern, but it's all in one one column, and that's not what we want. So pay very close attention to not make this mistake, or even if you make a mistake, because we're all humans, just know how to correct it. All you have to do is take out the ln, and it's good to go. All right, so that is it, guys, for this. If you want to see a copy of this code, please by all means go to my GitHub. There is going to be a link to my GitHub under this video. Additionally, happy testing, and join me for the next one, where we will be doing an inverse right angle triangle. Thank you.